this over here is my test subject generator. As you can see, I have spawned an unfortunate test subject. We're just going to see how this thing works. Not well, apparently. Hey guys, KelsithePyrofly here, and today I am doing another mod showcase, this time on the Crafterslife mod. So, before we start, there's a couple of basic things you should know about this mod. Number one is that it is for the Minecraft version 1.10.2, so if you want to play this mod, you must use that version. I don't believe it is available for any other versions at the moment because it's a pretty new mod. I think it came out about a week ago. So it's probably a work in progress. Hopefully they're going to add even more to this, but this has the beginnings of a really epic mod, so I hope you guys enjoy. And also, be sure to let me know if you do enjoy it, because on my last mod review, I didn't really get any feedback. I mean, nobody said, "Oh, Kelsey, I hate this, never do this again. You made me want to unsubscribe with that horrible mod review," but nobody said they liked it either, so if you feel one way or the other about these mod reviews, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And now, I believe that I am going to get started, and as you can see, we have tons of epic stuff to go over. And there's also a hole in the ground that I really don't want to talk about. We're just going to pretend that none of that even happened. So I'm just going to go in survival mode because there's some things I'm going to need to test in this mode. But for now, we're just going to start over here. This is the random blocks section. These are things that I just didn't feel went anywhere else exactly. So we're just going to start over here. First off, these are some of the new trees that were added by this mod. This is the fruit tree, and you can see a little stamp of the blocks over here. It has wood, and also has leaves. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe this tree actually has a sapling at the moment. Hopefully they will add one at some point. But this is a pretty cool tree. The wood, I'm pretty sure, functions just like normal wood. But on these leaves, you will occasionally get actual fruit spawning, like that pear over there and stuff. And we'll get to the fruits and the foods that this mod adds later on. But basically, all you need to know is this thing will give you some fruit, so these will definitely be useful to have in your world. And then, on to the next random item. This right here is called a cauldron on a campfire, and this is the recipe right here. It's made with 3 sticks on the bottom of the crafting grid, and a cauldron on the top. And the reason why I decided to put the recipes in this chest is because in this version, not enough items like spazzes out on me a lot. I think you might have seen it, where like I do this and I press this, but sometimes it's just like it opens up when I don't want it to, and it annoys me a lot. I think you saw it at the beginning when I was trying to get rid of that dirt block. It wasn't working that well, so I figured I'm going to try to avoid using that for most of the reviews. I just put it here in the chest. This is how you make this thing, and at the moment, I don't think it really has any particular function other than coolness factor. But admittedly, it does look pretty cool, and especially this part on the bottom. It's really weird to see something that round in Minecraft. And the next thing we have are the Grape Rack, and I put a bunch of recipes in here. This is the Grape Rack right here. Put 6 wood together, you get 16 Grape Racks, and they actually work quite a bit like fence does. So I guess I'll just go in creative mode so I can like test these out. But basically, I mean, it's actually kind of like iron bars really, or glass, because it starts like this, but it'll kind of take the shape of whatever arrangement you put this in. So it's kind of an interesting shape block, and it does have an important use. Over here is a grapevine, and you will be able to collect these in your world. I'll talk more about them later, but basically the only blocks they can be placed on after you've obtained them are leaves and grapevines. I mean, not grapevines, grape racks. So if you want to have a grape farm, you're probably going to want to make some of these, and as you can see, they're pretty darn cheap, so that really shouldn't be a problem for you. And the next thing we have are these guys. These are your bricks. Again, I'm pretty sure these are just decoration at the moment. And unfortunately, I actually did not, these are like the one block I didn't test the blast resistance on. So I don't know exactly how good they are, but I'm going to guess not great, because most of the blocks in here don't have that great of blast resistance. But there are snow bricks, ice bricks, and then packed ice bricks, and the recipes for those are in here. This right here, the thing with no texture, is biomass. Hopefully they'll update the mod and fix this so it actually has a proper texture. But this one I will use not enough items for to show you the recipe. It is just a bunch of fruit. You need a grape, a pear, a strawberry, and a pineapple, and it's shapeless, so it doesn't matter where all you put these. You just need these things, and you will get 1 biomass. So I take it this is just kind of meant to be like the stuff that kind of holds the walls together, or the bricks together and stuff. But basically for the snow ones, it's just snow blocks around biomass. For the ice ones, it's ice around biomass. And then for the packed ice ones, you have to take the regular ice bricks and put those around even more biomass. So this one is definitely going to be probably the most expensive. But really, I don't think any of these will be particularly hard to obtain. And you do get 8 of them every time you make it. So not horrible. And then the next thing we have, or actually the last thing we have in the random block section, are these guys right here. And this one is called Star Shard Block, and to make it, you need a star shard and a piece of dirt. To make a star shard, it is 1 diamond and 1 glowstone put together, and you get this. And the other thing you can actually do is you can smelt this back into the star shard, but considering that you made this out of a star shard, I don't really know why you'd want to do that, but you can. You could just, see, you could smelt it. Again, I don't really know why you'd want to, but you can always get your star shard back if you do that, so good to know, right? Good to know. And this other block over here is the star block. To make that is 8 star shards around lapis lazuli, and I don't think this block has a super important use. And I'm actually going to leave it night. But it does glow in the dark, and I put this little piece of glowstone here to remind me that the block does have a light level, and it's actually fairly impressive. Like, if I go over here where it's dark, you can see this thing really lights up. It's probably almost as bright, if not as bright, as like glowstone or something. So this, you could probably use as a much cooler lamp. I have to say, I think this is probably my favorite texture in the whole mod. So I would not hesitate to make this block. I mean, it does take some diamonds and some glowstone, so it's kind of expensive, but I think it's just a really cool block, and you can have a lot of fun with it. So I'm just going to put this stuff in here. I won't be needing these chests anymore. I'll just make a giant mess. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go on to the main part of this mod showcase, which is going to be the weapons and the armor and the tools. At least at this point in the mod development, I don't know if they're going to add other stuff later. I really hope they will, because this thing looks awesome. But at this point, most of the mod's content is in this section. So you've got tons of new ores and blocks and materials, and then you have a bunch of armor, weapons, and tools. So the first thing I want to start with is this. Now this here is just normal diamond and normal diamond ore, but this block here is special. This is the diamond cluster block. And this is made out of regular diamond blocks, which are of course made out of diamonds. So this thing is just like the densest diamond block you have ever seen in Minecraft. Like, there are just massive amounts of diamonds in here. So if you're just filthy stinking rich in Minecraft and you have your chest just overflowing with diamond blocks, you can put the diamond blocks into this block and condense everything down by a factor of 9 and save space. Honestly, I've personally never had that many diamonds in my life, and I'm kind of obsessed with mining. But if you have that many diamonds, this block is for you. Also, it looks kind of cool, and considering how many diamonds are in it, this thing is basically a status symbol. If you have this, you are like one of the richy rich people of Minecraft. There's just no questioning it. And I do believe that's pretty much all that's in here. I do have this here again to remind us that this does have a light level. This block does glow. I don't think it's as bright. Yeah, it's a dimmer glow, so it's not as nearly as bright as this one. It won't really function like a lamp per se, but it is pretty cool. And also, this is just some basic diamond stuff. I decided to put this in here for comparison to the rest of the armor. So the diamond axe has 1 attack speed and 9 attack damage. Sorry. The sword has 1.6 attack speed and 7 attack damage. And by the way, the higher the attack speed, the faster it attacks. And then the diamond armor, it all has 2 armor toughness, and it has 3 for the boots, 6 for the pants, 8 for the chest, and 3 for the helmet. I don't know if we're going to remember that, but I feel like that's a pretty decent comparison. Basically, it's 2 armor toughness, and I believe a total of, I think a total of 20. I can't, like, count right now. It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, a total of 20 armor bars. That'll fill up your whole bar. So that is that block. And then the other one that's not super new is this one over here. This is regular iron, but this right here is a special kind of iron. It is called the fine iron ingot. And to get this, all you have to do is take regular iron and smelt it. So it's actually kind of like the steel in the last mod I reviewed. This is just a double smelt of iron. So you take iron ore, smelt it to ingots, and then smelt it to fine iron. And right now there's really not a whole lot to do with this. It allows you to make one and only one weapon, and that is the shiny katana. And this guy does 1.6 attack speed, so the same as the diamond sword, but it does 12 attack damage. And I am going to test it out because some of these weapons, this is actually where I need to get into survival mode. some of these weapons actually do give you special buffs and such things. This right here is the shiny katana, but it doesn't look like it gives me anything special when I hold it, but I am going to go ahead and test it out anyway. This over here is my test subject generator. As you can see, I've spawned an unfortunate test subject. We're just going to see how this thing works. Not well, apparently. I just got owned by the iron golem because this thing does not come with armor. That's a bit of a problem. The other ones have armor that I'll get to test with it. This has none. So the iron golem is very angry at me. But as you can see, it does do 12 attack damage. And he won't attack me again until I attack him. So I'm just going to leave him here. The unfortunate test subject is very upset with me for using him in my weapons experiments. But I will get you back, man. I will get you back later. And of course, it's going to go ahead and rain because it's just rude. Seriously, world, you are raining on my parade right now, and I really don't appreciate it. Alright, the next thing we have, these ores here. Really, the only order there is I kind of put them in rainbow order because it looks nice. I don't know for sure which ones are strongest and stuff, and what effects they give. I actually didn't test all of the weapons and armor for effects, so we're going to find that out right now together. Alright, the first thing we have over here is Jaspis, and this is this beautiful pink ore. You're going to have, seriously, you're going to have so much fun mining with all these ores, but it's this beautiful pink ore, and it makes these blocks, and this is what the ore looks like. It's not a regular ingot. I honestly don't know what this is. It's some sort of odd-shaped gem, maybe a geode or something liquid, semi-liquid. I have no idea what this is, but it looks really cool. And here we actually have a lot of stuff. First off, we have the heart set, and these give 5 armor, and these give 4, so it's not quite as good as diamond as far as protection, but it does have double the toughness. And this right here is nothing important. This is just the basic stuff. You get Jaspis ore. And let's see, do you smelt it into this? No, you don't smelt it into that. It'll just drop this, and then you can make blocks out of that, like you normally make Minecraft blocks. And then the other things we have here are the tools. We have the axe, the pickaxe, the sword, and the spade. There is no hoe. This mod doesn't care about hoes. Apparently, if you want a hoe, just get a diamond one or a wood one. You know, they all work the same. So sadly, there's no hoes in this mod, but there are these. And I've actually arranged them in order of most damage. The axe does the most, but weirdly enough, the pickaxe does 14 damage, while the sword only does 12, and the spade does 9.5. And I believe these damage values and speed values are actually the same for all of the weapons. So really, this sword is not much different than any of the other swords. Same for the axe, same for all that stuff. But I believe they do sometimes have some special effects, so we'll see what happens with those. And then finally, there is this Lenny's Scriptum, which is a book with some powers, so we're going to test that out as well. Alright, so obviously the first thing we need to do is put on the armor because I got owned hardcore last time. So as you can see, this is better than iron, but not quite as good as diamond, and it doesn't seem to give me any special effects from wearing it. And these guys, the tools don't give you anything, but the sword does give you a special effect. Let's see what that is. The sword will give me strength for as long as I'm holding it. So where's my test subject? You, sir, are going to pay for rebelling against me. And he's dead. And I didn't even really get to see how much damage this did, so we're gonna try this one more time. Let's get a new one. So that does 15, and I believe it actually does more because I have the strength. It only does 12 from the sword, at least I think it's 12, but it does extra because of the strength buff, so that's actually pretty nice. Sadly, the armor does not prevent fall damage, so I might end up dying again. Yeah, I died. The iron golem is really upset. You know what? I'm going to beat you over the head with a shovel. You deserve this. You're very mean. Yeah, he was asking for it, but sadly I probably should have killed him with this, because now I have to test the book. Now, I feel like this will probably do more later. Like on the actual mod page, I saw this with like a crazy particle effect coming out of it, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. So basically, as far as I can tell, all this does, Lenny's Scriptum, is you do this. You right-click a mob, it sets them on fire, and knocks them back like crazy. So, as you can see, it hurts the iron golem. And apparently, it actually does not provoke the iron golem. So that's actually kind of an interesting thing. This must act more like environmental damage. Because as you can see, I can hit him with this, but he's not getting mad at me. He doesn't know that I'm the one damaging him. He doesn't associate book damage with hating my guts. So that could actually be pretty useful. Like, you could use this on probably any neutral mob, like a wolf, an enderman, zombie pigmen, probably if you use this on them, it's gonna knock them back and burn them, but it's not actually going to make them get mad at you. So that's kind of an interesting feature of this book. And then, of course, we got these things. I imagine these just kind of work like normal tools. You know, you can chop some wood with that. You can, like, mine stone. This is actually pretty fast, apparently. But I'm not going to test out all the tools. I imagine they work pretty much just like regular tools. And as you can see, we already have a ton of stuff to test. But I believe that that's pretty much the Jaspis set covered. It gives you strength. It also gives you the cool book with fire and knockback and stuff. So let's put all that stuff back in there. We don't need it anymore. And next up is the fire set. This right here is the fire ingot. You get it, I believe, from smelting the fire ore. Yeah, you get it from smelting it. And you can make fire blocks just like you make any other block in Minecraft. And we do have a fire set. We have the tools, and this right here says that the ore actually has a light level. So the block will not give off light, but the ore will. So if you're in a cave, this is actually going to be glowing, so it should be extra easy to find this stuff. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to put on the armor. It doesn't look like the armor gives you any buffs, but it is the same as the other one. Not quite as good at diamond, but pretty close. I'm going to restore my hunger here because I'm not actually ready to test the food yet. That is the last section. So again, we have our same tools, and I am going to need another test subject. There's no special book for this one. Only a couple of them have the books. But here's the test subject. I'm going to see, though, if any of these other than the sword give me an effect. Okay, the axe doesn't. The pickaxe actually gives me fire resistance. And the sword gives me fire resistance and jump boost. So that's pretty cool. I can jump like crazy. And the pickaxe giving you fire resistance, that's actually pretty cool. What this means is you could take this in a cave, and if you want it, if there's a diamond on like the other side of the lava lake, you don't have to try to clear out all that lava anymore. You could just swim through the lava, and as long as you're holding this pickaxe or this sword, you'll be fine. You're not even going to die. So that could definitely be useful for mining. But of course, it is time to test this out. So where did my test subject get off to? Ah, there you are. And the cool thing about the jump boost is I think it might prevent some of the fall damage I take too. I'm not positive on that, but it might. Now, the sword does not seem to actually light you on fire, sadly. I think it would be cool if it did. I'm going to use the axe now. I think it would be cool if it lit you on fire, but it doesn't. And one other thing that I actually really need to point out about these axes that I forgot to mention before is they have a crazy fast attack speed. 24 attack speed and 21 attack damage. Like, this thing is crazy fast. Normally in Minecraft, axes are agonizingly slow, but this thing, I can just spam this to my heart's content and there will be no problem. Like here with the shovel, you can see there's this bar that kind of has to fill up. And I broke the ground. I don't want to talk about that. I'm just going to quickly put that back. But the axe, like the bar doesn't, it's so fast the bar doesn't even come up. I can spam this thing with no consequences. Like, it's even faster than the sword, weirdly enough. So honestly, I don't know. Other than the special effects, if you don't need that, I wouldn't bother with the sword. I'd just go straight to the axe, man. You could just spam this thing forever. So I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff back. But one thing I did forget to mention over here was how to make the book. So let's just quickly examine that. It is just going to be a book surrounded by Jaspis blocks. So sorry about that, but that is how you make it. And as near as I can tell, it doesn't have durability. So once you have this, you can knock mobs back for the rest of your life. And next up is this one over here. This is the Sky Gold set, and this does not smelt. You just mine this ore and it will directly drop Sky Gold, and then you can make Sky Gold block like you make a normal Minecraft block. We do have a Sky Gold armor set, and we also have some tools. So I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff, oh, I got to take this off. I forgot to take this off. Let me just look at this real quick. I think I forgot to go and like appreciate the looks of the armor. So this here actually looks pretty similar to regular Minecraft armor, but this one has like a cool flame design on it, so that's pretty cool. And now that I think of it, I better just grab this one too. I want to be sure I don't miss anything cool, so we're just going to quickly see how this looks. Yeah, it looks pretty much like regular armor, but pink. So nothing too special on that texture. I think the flame armor actually has the coolest texture of all of them. But we're going to see how this one looks. So yeah, this one looks pretty much just like your normal Minecraft armor, but slightly orange or yellow than gold. But still pretty cool though. It's definitely fun to have all sorts of different armor. And this one, once again, not quite as good as diamond, but better than iron. And also, better armor toughness, so I guess it won't break as much, probably. And here we have the tools. We have a shovel. Now, interestingly, this is a shovel. The other one had a spade. This has a spade. This has a shovel. I don't know why they're different, but they are. Here's the pickaxe. And the pickaxe actually gives you strength. So if you want to, like, attack with your pickaxe, it actually does more damage than the sword anyway, so by all means. And the axe... Does that also give you strength? Actually, no. Those don't give you... I think it's actually the armor set that gives you the strength, right? Alright, where's the strength coming from? I'm, like, freaking out. I don't even know. Seriously, why do I have random strength? I can't figure this out. Is it, like, just from having this stuff in my inventory? Like, what? What is going on here? This is really embarrassing. Like, I thought I knew about this mod. I spent, like, several hours studying this mod. I'm just gonna kill myself. I wonder if this is a glitch. I have no idea why I have random strength. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But seriously, I spent a long time studying this mod, so I thought I knew everything about it, but apparently I'm wrong. So this doesn't give you strength. The sword gives you strength. And also... Okay, yeah, sorry, the pickaxe doesn't give you strength. That's a shame. Just the sword, but strength is pretty nice. And the armor looks pretty good. So we're going to test this out against another test subject. I can spawn infinitely many of these dudes. And as you can see, the sword, it does give me strength, but sadly, it is not highly spammable. The axe, if you want to spam, this is the tool for you, and it does a ton of damage. So that's pretty awesome. Alright, that's pretty much all there is with this set. You've got some cool blocks, and you've got some cool tools and armor, so nothing to sneeze at there. And actually, I just realized this this set here goes really nicely with the color of my skin, so that's pretty cool. Next up is Jade, and this one is pretty unique just because of the shape of what it drops. Most of the other ones, barring the Jaspis, are actually just ingots. This one is... I don't know what to call that shape, but it's different, and I like it. So here's what everything looks like. You get the ore, and I believe it just drops this. You don't have to smelt it at all, and then you can make the blocks like every Minecraft block. And this one does have armor. It doesn't have tools, only a sword, and this is called Raised Blade. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but it's a thing. It's a sword. It has a lot of K's and Z's and X's and stuff. So here's what the armor looks like. It's a really pretty lime green color. I really like how it looks. And here's the sword. It's got a really cool model, and it gives you regeneration too. So this thing, honestly, this is the bomb. I think this is probably one of my favorite ones. Hit me, bro. So as you can see, he can abuse me quite a bit, and I can regen pretty well. Obviously, iron golems hit really hard, and the armor isn't, like, better than diamond. But the sword isn't bad, and it does give you regen too, and that could definitely be useful. That doesn't seem to be working at the moment. Regen me, bro! Like, seriously, look, my hearts are, like, shivering like they're trying to regen, but it's not working. Maybe I just need some saturation? That's kind of weird. Honestly, it looks like the regen might not work if you're hungry. That's kind of weird, but it does regen, I think, faster than normal health, so it should still be pretty useful. And again, I love the model on this sword. You can tell that whoever made this mod worked pretty hard on the textures. I mean, the armor looks kind of like the default Minecraft stuff, but you can tell they put a lot of work into things like this and the weapons. All the weapons look cool. They didn't use any of the default weapon textures. The pickaxes and the axes and the swords, they all have their own texture, and even the different ores have their own texture, so it's pretty cool, really. So let's put this stuff back. We're done testing the Jade stat, but that one could definitely be useful with the regeneration. Honestly, you might want to carry, like, several different swords just so you can pick whatever buff is most useful to you at a particular time. And also, definitely take that fire resistance pickaxe if you're going mining. You probably are going to need that at some point, because let's be honest, lava gets the better of everybody at one point or another. Alright, let's just get rid of the stupid rain. It's annoying me again. I should probably just do weather clear next time. I'm going to do it. Weather clear forever. There we go. Now, I expect no more rain for the whole rest of the time. You got that? If there's any more rain, I'm going to know that the universe really doesn't like me very much. Alright, we are on to, I believe, yes, the star set. And you get the star ore. I believe this one you do have to smelt. Yes, you have to smelt this to get the star ingot, and then you can make the star block. And the ore does also have a light level. This one, I believe, is actually pretty bright. I might actually take this and test it. I'm going to put it right over here. Yeah, this one's actually pretty bright. I don't know if it's quite... I don't think it's quite as bright as, like, glowstone or torch. But it's pretty bright. So if you're mining, I think it's going to be pretty hard to miss this stuff. And then we also have an armor set, which I believe is kind of the same as everything else. Almost as good as diamond, but not quite. We have the tool set, and this is actually called the Hiccup set. And we also do have another book. This is Hiccup Scriptum. So we're going to put this stuff on, see how it looks. It's pretty cool. As you can see, this one, it does have a little bit, I think, more texture to it than normal Minecraft armor. Sadly, it doesn't have, like, a starry texture. I think that would have been really cool. Like, if the armor looked like this block, that would have been, like, the coolest thing ever. But it does look pretty good. And here's the tools. Let's see if we get any buffs from these. We don't from the shovel, I don't think. I think those all came from the sword, probably. Fire resistance and jump boost, and yeah, the shovel does nothing. But fire resistance and jump boost are what you get from this. So jump boost 3, you can jump like crazy high with this thing, and you are also resistant to fire. So honestly, you might want this in the nether. That would probably be a good thing. And we do have another scriptum, so I think I'm going to test that out first. I think it does the same thing as the other one. It sets them on fire, knocks them back, and does not make them angry with you, once again. So that's pretty cool. And we have the sword. Let's test this baby out. Like, I seriously think with the jump boost, I don't think I take nearly as much fall damage as normal. But I'm just going to use the axe because I could spam it like nobody's business. Iron Golem, you're dead. How does it feel to be killed by me? You were annoying me and being mean, and that's what you get. And I think that's pretty much it for these, but they do have kind of a cool name, and these scriptums are definitely kind of cool. Now, one problem with this mod right now is it seems like a lot of the things are super similar. Like, all the ores have kind of like the same base value for tools and stuff. Like, all the armor's the same, all the tools are the same except for special effects, and the 2 scriptums are the same. So hopefully in the future they will actually change the attributes of these things. But for now, it looks pretty cool. I honestly, I love the different colors. That's the main reason I decided to review this mod, is because it looked pretty. And honestly, it's lived up to its reputation. As you can see, we've got like a whole rainbow of blocks here, so this will be a fun one. If you like building and mining and stuff, I think you're really going to enjoy this mod. Alright, and our second to last ore here is the moon ore. The moonlight ore, actually, this is a moonlight ore. And I believe you do have to smelt this to get the ingot, and then you can make the blocks. And here we have the moonlight set, which I believe is the same as all the other sets, and the tools, which are also the same as the other tools. So we'll go ahead and put this on. And this is what it looks like, pretty much like basic armor, but a nice indigo purple color. And then we have these guys. The shovel does nothing, the pickaxe does nothing, and the axe does nothing special. The sword, like usual, will give you a special effect, and I believe is actually resistance 3. So this one, oh man, this iron golem is not going to be able to touch me. Hit me, bro. Man, look, you can barely damage me, dude. I'm still going to die. I might have gotten a bit cocky. I'm still going to die. Wait, he's too fat to fit through here, so I can just kill him. You know what, dude, just finish me off. Just finish me off right now. Get out of there. Alright, now I can test this properly because I actually have health. So if I hit him, he only does like half a heart of damage with the resistance 3. So seriously, this one could be amazing for fighting stuff. You might want this one in the end or the nether or something too. Anywhere where you've got tough mobs, this is probably a very nice sword. Now, I imagine it's possible, I don't know for sure, but I think maybe these are harder to find. I wasn't able to find any information about what levels and stuff these things spawn at, but I imagine some might be harder to find than others. But I think that's pretty much all there is for that set. We've checked out the buff, Resistance 3. That is definitely going to be useful in your survival world. So if I were you, I'd be looking for some moonlight ore. And finally, we have this stuff. As you can see, this has a really interesting texture. This is the, I believe, artifact ingot, and the artifact block, and the artifact sword. And as you can see, this does not have an ore, and the reason for that is you have to make this out of all the other ones. So basically, this stuff right here, this is more expensive than diamonds or gold. This right here is the ultimate status symbol, other than maybe your compact diamond blocks, because for this stuff, you've got to be a dedicated miner just to get this. This right here is the recipe for just one of these. To make, or actually two, but to make 2 of these ingots, you have to get a block of like all the other ores. Or you can just uncraft one of these and make these. You do have to get a bunch of these ingots. So honestly, if you have a ton of these blocks around, it means that you've been like mining for your entire life. You're probably like 80 years old with a 20-inch long beard because you've been mining so long just to get these. But if you have a bunch of these blocks, you are like the richest miner in all of the land. And also, there is this hilt right here, the artifact blade holder, and this thing is crazy expensive too to make it. It's basically all the stuff right here. You have to take one of all the other swords, including the shiny katana, and both scriptums just to get this holder. And then once you have it, you can use it with 2 artifact ingots to get this sword. So honestly, this thing had better be good because we are testing it out. And honestly, I'm not disappointed. Jump boost 3, strength, regeneration, fire resistance, and saturation. So like, I'm not even going to starve with this thing. This is the ultimate weapon. Like, this thing, it's probably worth all the trouble. It gives you like the effects of all the other swords. And the test subject is really abusing me right now. Sadly, I don't think it has resistance. That's the one thing it's missing. And if this thing had resistance, it would be like 100 times better because this Iron Golem, no armor actually comes with this set, so don't just go out naked with a sword. It's not a good idea. But man, this is like the best sword in the game. And if you have this, even if it was a horrible sword, just having this thing symbolizes that you are rich. And honestly, I didn't notice this before, but you can actually see in the texture, it's not just the pixels you see. Each of the pixels actually has pixels inside of it. I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly, but it has a really complex texture. So that's pretty cool. You can tell that they put some effort into that as well. So before I move on to the food section, which is the final section, I just want to do one thing real quick. I want to give myself some night vision. And then I'm going to go into spectator mode and just kind of show you guys under here all of the ore in the caves. Because honestly, it's pretty common. So if you look in the caves, you can see some of the ore. I believe that's the fire ore. And this one is just great. I see Jade. I see Moon. I think that's either Star or Moonlight ore. I see the Jaspis. I see all sorts of things. So honestly, if you guys like mining, like me, I'm one of those weird people who absolutely loves mining. If you're like me, definitely install this mod and you will have mining for days. I mean, look at this. It just really spices up the cave. It's not just coal and iron anymore. You can see this beautiful, pretty stuff. Honestly, it just makes everything more fun, in my opinion. Color just makes the world a better place. So now I'm going to head right back up here, and we are going to move on to the food section. And food is my life, guys. I love food, and I love food in Minecraft. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this part. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, before I eat any of this, I'm just going to go over what we have. First off, we have strawberries, and this is what they look like fully grown. And we have pineapple plants. Now, pineapples do not grow on trees, guys. They grow on plants. Very strange-looking plants. But you can tell that the creator of this mod put in a ton of effort on some of these models. I mean, the strawberries look kind of like normal crops, but this pineapple right here, you can tell that this took effort. And also, we have these. There's this pear, which also has a super cool model. And there's this banana. And normally you will find these occasionally growing, I believe, off of these fruit leaves. I actually saw a pear just naturally spawned on one of these trees somewhere. You will sometimes see these guys spawned on the trees. And we also have the grapes, of course, and I do have them on their grape rack. And what you can do is you can just break these with your fist and it will drop 1 grape. Now, one thing you can also do, which I didn't actually put in the chest, so I'm going to have to give it to myself really quick, is Minecraft Shears. If you actually harvest these with Shears, it will drop a grape as well as the actual vine, which you can then go ahead and place on leaves or on your grape rack, and you can continue to grow extra grapes. So if you're going to harvest these things, I highly recommend doing it with Shears, because you get the grape and you also get the vine. Just think, you could have your grape and eat it too. I think I meant to say vine instead of grape, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's actually really useful. So definitely get some shears. You don't even have to have like silk touch or anything on them. Just get some shears and harvest up those grapes. And then in here are the different foods you can have. First off, you just have the regular fruit. And I didn't actually check, but I'm like 90% sure you can actually eat these plain. And then we also have some milkshakes. Some milkshakes. I think I said shapes. Shakes. To make these, first you need to make a glass cup, and all you need to do is 5 glass blocks like this. And honestly, that seems kind of expensive, but you do get 6 glass cups out of that recipe, so it's really not that bad. And then for any of the shakes, you take whatever fruit you want, a bucket of milk, and a glass cup on the bottom, and that will pretty much make you any of the shakes. So we're going to try these out as well. And then before I get to eating all this stuff, I just want to address the other items in here. First off, there are these special pear seeds, and I'm going to plant these right now. I have no idea what these things do. I really don't know. So I'm just going to plant them, and we'll see what happens. I probably should have maybe put some water here. And apparently I forgot the most important part. I need some bone meal. Luckily, I'm pretty good at the Minecraft give commands. So we can get some bone meal. Is it? How do you... Whatever. Just give me bones. Just give me like 10. There we go. I can make like a ton of bone meal with this. Alrighty. 30 bone meal. That should be good. I can grow these to full. And actually it only takes like 1 bone meal to grow each one. And they kind of get these weird looking pear-shaped things. And then when we harvest them, they will drop pears. Now, I swear when I tested this before, they didn't drop any pears. I think I might have like accidentally been doing it in creative mode. Basically, you don't have to get pears on trees. You can get these seeds. And they actually can be crafted from a pear and a bunch of biomass. And that will give you 8 seeds. So if you want the seeds, pear, and some biomass, which is made out of like a ton of other fruits, and you can have pear seeds, and then you can have a giant pear farm. So that's definitely fun. And then the only other things we have in here are a couple other seeds. These are the pineapple seeds and the strawberry seeds. And then we also have fog herb. So these guys are basically just the same things I showed you up there. This is what they look like when they grow. It doesn't look like it takes much bone meal to grow them. But these are just these plants here. When you harvest them, you will get the fruit in question. And the recipe for these is, I don't know, honestly, they don't have a recipe, so I'm not really sure how you get them, but there's probably a way. Maybe they like drop off of grass like other seeds and stuff. I don't really know. Maybe you like have to find them in chests or something. Come to think of it, I have no idea how you obtain those, but there's probably a way. And now I believe it is time for the main event where I chow down on food. But first, there's just this one thing. I don't know what this does, but this is a fog herb. You'll find these guys spawn around their world, and they don't seem to do anything particularly special. I don't think they give me any buffs for standing on them or stuff. The night vision was just from before. But they emit these weird particles, and they just kind of add some diversity to the world, so definitely cool. And now, I'm serious now, I'm actually going to eat stuff. I'm actually just going to chow down on all of this beautiful food. So what I'm going to do is give myself, like, the most horrible hunger effect ever. Hunger for 100 seconds, level 100. So this is going to make me starve super fast. So we're going to start with the pear. It restores, looks like 3.5 bars. That's not bad. The grape, 2.5. The grape does like half a bar. So honestly, the one grape, it's not going to help you very much. But they do grow on vines, so these are probably the easiest fruit to obtain. Pineapple will restore 2.5 bars. Strawberry will restore, looks like half a bar. So yeah, berries are pretty small, not terribly filling. And the banana, you actually can't eat. It looks like it might just be for decoration at this point. And I broke it and it dropped Jaspis. So yeah, that's pretty weird. I think there might be something wrong with the banana. Honestly, I haven't seen those spawn in the world, so the banana might be a work in progress at the moment. And I'm really tired of this hunger effect already. So let's move on to the milkshake. Strawberry milkshake. 4 bars and no effects. I'm just checking. Sometimes these things give you special effects. I believe that. I don't even remember what milkshake that was. It gave me 4 bars. Which one was that? It was oh, that's embarrassing. I'll have to check. Grape milkshake. 4 bars. Pear milkshake. 4 bars. Effect. Clear because I'm dying here. Let me just eat this really fast. Right now, I can't remember what milkshake it was. Banana, maybe? No. Bananas, that it would have been strawberry, pear, probably pineapple. It's probably pineapple. I think that's the one I forgot about. But yes, all of the milkshakes will give you 4 hunger bars, so they're pretty good food. Now, granted, you had to sacrifice the iron in your bucket to make the milkshake. because for whatever reason, you consumed the bucket and the glass. Or actually, you didn't consume the glass. You actually do get the glass back, which I think is pretty cool. I love when you get the glass back. But the bucket of milk you used to make it, yeah, that's gone forever. So clearly you got your iron for the day. That's clearly what happened. And then I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all that there is to show with this mod. But there's one more thing I want to check out, and that's just the fruit trees. I have seen them spawn in these kind of spindly palm tree-like ones, but I've also seen them spawn like this, these super thick, more like a dark oak tree. So there may even be other ways for these to spawn, but there's at least two. There's the thick ones and there's the thin ones. I believe they could both probably grow pears, and there might be others. And also, guys, I just want to remind you once again, this is a super new mod. So hopefully it's a work in progress, and there will be even more stuff coming later. So I'm going to go ahead and end this with a couple of suggestions for the mod creator. Honestly, my main suggestion, well, actually there's two main ones. The first one is that they diversify these weapons even more. Like, make them different from each other. Make them do different attack damages, different attack speeds, things like that. I mean, the special effects are cool, but like make the tools and stuff different too. Different durability, different mining levels, all that good stuff. Just add a little more variety. And also, I think it would be cool to see armor and or tools for the ones that don't have it. Like, seriously, if they make armor out of the artifact set, that would be like the most boss set of armor ever. So I'd love to see that. Plus the texture would be amazing. And also, I wouldn't mind seeing some like beast amazing set out of clustered diamond blocks, or set out of the fine iron. Any of those would be really cool. So if you could just expand on that stuff a little more, I would love to see that. I think it would just be great. And then the other thing I would say is add some mobs, because you've got all this amazing armor, and you might even make some of it better. But I think what this mod needs now is new, harder mobs. Because, I mean, if you've got amazing weapons, you need something harder to fight. So if we can get mobs in this too, that would just be the epicest thing ever. Because seriously, I could tell this mod has the potential to become just a really big, super cool Minecraft mod, and I really hope to see it come to fruition. I messed up that word bad, but whatever. And I guess there's one other thing I forgot to mention, and I spent like 20 minutes testing this, so I might as well point it out. All of these blocks have horrible blast resistance. It seems to be about on par with dirt. So don't probably build with these in the nether. They'll probably blow up and die. Now, see, even this extra super dense compact diamond block has the blast resistance of about dirt. It's worse than the diamond blocks it's made out of. So seriously, this stuff, it's not very blast resistant. You blow this up with TNT and it's going to die a horrible death. So yeah, be careful about that. Just a word of caution. And honestly, I'm just going to spawn a friend here. I honestly can't think of anything else to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mod review. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel, because if you guys like this, there will be more like these coming. I'm going to try to review mods that nobody else reviews, mods that are brand new, just came out, and haven't yet gotten a lot of love. So I hope you guys will stick around for that. And don't forget to let me know if there's another mod that you would particularly like for me to review, because I would be happy to do it. And with that, I am going to say goodbye, everybody, and I will see you on the next Minecraft video. And the Iron Golem also says goodbye. This unfortunate test subject will not be tested on. It is your lucky day, sir. It is your lucky day. Goodbye.